Yeah, so the Eminem new album is kind of dorky. Now listen, I'm just gonna be completely straightforward from this thing on. I don't hate it. I don't think that it's the worst album of all time. I don't think that it's I don't think that it's pure shit on a plate. I don't. But I don't. It's not good. You know what I mean? Now I know I'm doing a lot of shitting on it, and I haven't even said anything about it yet. So let me just start from the beginning. Let me just start before this even was gonna come out, or before I knew it came out. Eminem had dropped a song called Houdini, and you know it, Abra Abracadabra. I personally like that song. I think it's a good mix of what was to happen in this new Eminem killing off Slim Shady phase of his career. Houdini, and this is just I'm gonna say this realistically, that's probably the best that the album gets. Um, so it's probably a good thing that he dropped it. And like I said before, I think Houdini is a pretty decent song. Um, but it definitely had a better way of explaining this whole Marshall Mathers versus Slim Shady thing. Like he's in the song he's saying like I probably wonder what the old me would say, and then the old him would say whatever he was gonna say. And I thought that's how it was going to be handled in the entire album, because I can understand the album as a concept album trying to kill off the woes of your past or whatever. But the issue is that Eminem doesn't necessarily describe the other side of it. He just plays the Slim Shady, and it's like obviously it's a concept. It's somewhat fresh, I guess. But the thing is, it's like, do you really think that people are going to hear you talk about how you hate paraplegics or fat people, and the people are going to be like, "Oh my god, Eminem, I didn't want to cancel you for that." Because it's like, no, and I don't think anyone, especially including Gen Z, I don't think anyone wants to cancel Eminem. I think the thing they want to cancel is him making music. Now, as far as positives, I want to say that the when he was singing as Slim Shady and he was trying to do that, and the whole album felt like it was, taking parts of other albums, and although it sounds a little cheap to do, at least it sounded decent, you know what I mean? But the issue comes with the tracks. If you go through like the first however many tracks, like 9 tracks, it's all just Slim Shady saying all these like somewhat terrible things. And it's just like it kind of gets to the point where it's like, am I listening to Tom McDonald right now? Like, what's going on? I do admit the latter half, there is this song called Guilty Conscience, and that kind of like sets the tone for the rest of the album. And he's basically like, what the fuck, like, this isn't cool, Slim Shady, like, why are we doing this, right? And so like I think that as something works, you know what I mean? Just because the fact of the matter is that he's right, I think it was a good play to want to kill the Slim Shady character, but to play him, it would be in true Slim Shady fashion to make fun of himself or something like that. But he chose to just be like, huh, Caitlyn Jenner is actually Bruce Jenner, huh, huh. There's this really good TikTok that I saw, and they explain how what Eminem should have said. Let me just show you the TikTok real quick.
I'm transgender and I listened to all of Eminem's new album, and honestly, I'm fucking offended. Not because he made fun of transgender people, but because he didn't fucking do it right. Just lazy and cringy and corny and fucking boring. You're like, oh yeah, it's You're like, yeah, because you could fucking do it better. Okay, I wrote this in 20 minutes just as an example of like what the fuck I'm talking about. I met a trans chick. She was a solid 10. So my bro and I hit it. 2.5 men. Had a genderqueer hookup. I'm bragging to my friends because it sounds like an orgy when I say they, them. Took a selfie with my sent it to a trans person. Her and I are quite alike because now my is inverted. If I'm ever getting jumped, I know who I'll call for certain. The guy with the most balls, Caitlyn Jenner surgeon. She's an Olympian, now I got a limp peen after getting guilty from a Caitlyn Jenner wet dream. If she on hormones, it don't matter to me. I can make a hormone even if she's on E. I want to become a surgeon that works for the woke mob, so I can keep the tits when the idiots chop them off. Yeah, my name's Slim, but my is simply not. It's kind of an oxymoron like Laverne Cox. That is what I'm fucking talking
But yeah,
about.
the latter half of the album isn't really that bad. I actually kind of prefer it. I like it. I'm definitely not bobbing my head to it all the time, but I listened to it. I listened to the album twice, by the way. I wanted my initial reaction, and then I wanted the reaction afterwards. You know what I mean? I feel like 2 listens is a pretty good amount of time dedicated to whatever that album was. Now, before the all the people come in my comments and are like, dude, you're just a fucking sissy. You're just a fucking sissy that can't handle nothing that Eminem has put out. I mean, dude, Gen Z grew up with Eminem too. It's not like Eminem just stopped making music the second Gen Z was born. That's not how that fucking works. Everyone listened to Eminem. Everyone knows Eminem. They're gonna listen to his old stuff and be like, oh, it was just a product of its time. They're not trying to cancel Eminem. I don't know where anyone got this fucking notion that that we're trying to get Eminem canceled. We're not. And honestly, we don't care about Eminem. If he made good music, good for him. Like, let him make music. But he's not. He's just kind of just like having to nurse your dementiated grandpa. And he's like, are we at the beach? And it's like, yeah, yeah, grandpa, we're at the beach. Yeah, good job. It's like Eminem, buddy. I'm glad you tried to hurt our feelings or whatever. And I don't know. Maybe there is people that actually like fed into that and are like, "Ah, ah, I don't make fun of paraplegic people, please, please." I think that Eminem had a lot of potential. I thought overall, I thought, you know what? He hasn't done it in a while. He seems to be kind of into stuff, and he knows what's going on. So, you know what, Eminem? Give us your best shot, man. What did you do? And then he dropped that. And I don't know. It's not what I was expecting. It's not what I wanted. It's not what anyone really wanted. And I'm not going to dig on the music too much because I do think if you have a good beat and you have a decent flow, obviously you're just going to have decent music. Like there's nothing I'm not going to say that any one song besides that one song Trouble, that one's so dumb. He made a rap album to piss people off rather than to make music, which is I feel like is almost disingenuous to rap culture and the rap community. It's like, okay, now you're just like and I know that there is a lot of hate in that realm, but I'm just saying I feel like the sole benefactor, the sole thing that you should work on when you're making a rap album or you're making a punk album or you're making a rock and roll album or whatever, yada yada yada, is to make the music you want to make and make it something that you enjoy. And it's like I get Eminem probably gets enjoyment off of seeing people, getting a rise out of people, but at the same time, it's like it's just not quality music. It's not quality music that he used to make. You can't sit here and deny that Eminem has made some good music before. I think that him having like number 1 club hits means something. Just like it means something for Taylor Swift. Even if you hate Taylor Swift, she's made some good music. That's a reason. Maybe we're sheep because we listen to it, but it's like whatever. People are listening to it, people like it, let them enjoy their music. But it's just something I can't enjoy. I don't hate this album. I give it a solid 4 out of 10. Um, Gen Z me, bruh. Try to cancel me. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.